What's up, guys? UFC Fight Night China is happening in 7 hours or so. 6 hours 53 minutes. And I'm here to show you guys who I'm picking and give you guys advice on who to pick, probably. I don't know. I'm not going to do good this card. Just heads up as advice. Probably don't listen to anything I say on this card. Because I don't know these fucking people. Because I don't watch random MMA. So my cat was scratching. Anyways, we're gonna start with the prelims, like these guys, and then we're gonna head all the way to the main event, making our predictions along the way. That's how these all go for everybody. Anyways, starting with fucking fight number one. Starting with the guys you can't pronounce any fucking names. Mahashate versus Nicholas Mata. I actually think Nicholas Mata gets the job done here. He's a knockout artist, and he's fighting a guy who gets knocked out. Simple. Plus, I don't know. I don't rate Mahashate. He beat Steve Garcia, but that's the only good thing he's done. Moving on. Two guys that I don't know, literally at all. Don't know these guys. They're bantamweights. Long Zhao versus Quang Li. I'm gonna go with Long Zhao. I think he's really gonna outfight Quang Li. Yeah, really take the fight to him. Push a pace that he can't handle. Just all the things. Yeah. Anyways, there are some fights like these guys. I'm sorry, they've been in the UFC once. It's hard to rate them based on that, but based off what I have seen, I feel like the better fighter of the two is Long Zhao, but either way, it's not great. Loner Kavanaugh versus Jose Ocha. Pretty good fight. I'm going to be picking Loner Kavanaugh to win by decision. I think Jose Ocha will be able to survive the shots that Loner Kavanaugh puts on him, but I do think Loner will be putting on a clinic. I actually rate Loner Kavanaugh. I think he's a good fighter. He's one of the few fighters at flyweight that I think is good. But we'll see if he proves me right. I think he's a very good fighter. He very well could get the finish. If you're picking maybe second round. I'm gonna pick that this guy will survive. Yeah, I think he'll make it to decision. No. We don't like those vibes. Not on the China card. We're closing these up. Closing those bad boys. Getting them out of the way. Moving on. Carlos Hernandez versus this fucking guy. This guy's... Yeah, good guy. He's undefeated. Carlos Hernandez is kind of a mid-fighter. Experience for the UFC, but very not great at all. And I'm gonna pick this fucking guy. This guy. Him. That guy. That one. picking him. He is, yeah, he's a guy, you know, Asian and shit. Probably a better fighter than Carlos Hernandez. Um, he's undefeated, Mongolian. He's got pretty good reach for the weight class, 71 inches for 5'7", so he doesn't have a women's reach like the rest of the flyweights. Pretty good dude, pretty good fighter. Like he's got finishes, he's got submissions and a knockout. So let's pick him to get Carlos Hernandez a hard night, but not a finish. It'll be by decision. Don't know that guy's name. I'm sure I will learn it if I catch this card, because I'm not even sure that I'll be awake for it. Moving on to the next fight. Oh, these guys. Zhao Kan Fing versus Ming Shi. And this is how this fight's gonna go. The old Zhao Kan Fing. Moving on. Karu Sota versus Dong Hun Choi. You know, God, they're guys. This is a 5'10" flyweight. That's hard to rate. Most 5'10" flyweights are trash. Most of the time when you're bigger at flyweight, you just get like considerably worse. I'm not exactly sure why. Well, it's other than you're just like trying to be a size bully and you don't really have that like you don't have the actual fight in you to be a bully. It's kind of weird. His striking is good though. He fights long, so I'm gonna pick him to win by decision, but I'm not loving that because he is a 5'10" flyweight. Normally when they're size bullies at flyweight, they are terrible. Moving on to Su Young Yu versus Balgan. Another just this fucking guy. This guy's here. He'll be fighting tonight in like 6 hours. I'm not picking him just because of his fucking name. I'll stick with Su Young Yu. Honestly. Actually, because he's from China. I'm not picking him. South Koreans typically fight better. This is like MMA knowledge for me. South Koreans typically fight better. This guy's gonna, it looks like, get a decision. Because that's what we're doing. Oh, thank God. People I know. Ozzy Diaz versus Ming Yang Zhang. Going with Ming Yang Zhang, first round knockout. This dude fraud checked Bridgenson Ribeiro. Knocked out Turco Tacos. However the fuck you say this. And then this guy's been knocked out by Joe Pyfer fairly recently on the Contender Series, which was, you know, him getting exposed, but it is what it is. It was just really the Joe Pyfer show for that one. I think the same thing's going to happen here. I think this is the Zhang show. Zhang is going to rock this dude's world. This is the only time I'm going to be picking a Chinese dude, I think, other than Loner Kavanaugh. But Loner Kavanaugh, I'm pretty sure, is an English dude that was like born in China, or he lives in China right now. I really don't know. I know he's a fucking white dude. He's not that Asian. Or he's mixed. That's what it is. I can't remember. Anyways, moving on to Volkan Ozdemir. Yeah. Moving on to Volkan Ozdemir versus Carlos Ulberg. This should be a fucking banger. This fight should be fun as hell. Volkan has a huge chance in this fight to shock the world because he is a pretty big underdog right here in the sense of, you know, these kinds of fights. Pretty big underdog for who he is. It's pretty tempting to pick him just off of that. Yeah. Seeing the guys that Ulberg's beaten versus the guys that Özdemir's beaten in his past and some of the guys he's had like tough fights with, it does make it hard to pick him when you see the Paul Craig decision. Like it's hard to pick Volkan by knockout after the Paul Craig fight. And I feel like that's what leans me more towards Ulberg, but Volkan has been fighting a little better here recently in these past two fights, so maybe he gets it done. God, it's tough. I'm gonna stick with Ulberg. I think he's gonna win a decision. I think Volkan Özdemir's hard to finish. He might get dropped and then maybe submit, or he might drop Özdemir and then maybe submit him. Ulberg does have some ground game. But yeah, I'm going to stick with Ulberg by decision. I think this will be a good fight, though. Should be a fun fight. Moving on to Kong Wang versus Gabriela Fernandez. I'm going with Gorilla Cock by knockout in round 1. I think this girl's too much for all of these girls. Don't worry about this decision. Don't worry about it. We don't worry about her decisions in the past. See? These things, these two, we don't worry about those anymore. Because from here on out, this bitch is knocking everyone out. Everyone. Mark my words, yeah. She's knocking everyone out here. Kong Wang. Gorilla Cock. What more do you want me to say, bro? What more do you want me to say? And then we move into this fucking fight. Kanan Song versus Muslim Salikov. So, Drak is fighting Kanan Song. This is fucking Dracula. If you don't know what I'm talking about, look up Dracula Flood, and you will know immediately. This dude's Dracula. He's 40 years old. 4 million years old. Look at this dude. Old as shit. He's gonna win this fight. Because he has the gift of eternal life. You know what? This is how confident I am in the Drac himself. This man has eternal life on his side. You don't understand. He's been training for 4 billion fucking years. He's old as shit. He's been resting. He's ready to go. Song Kanan's done. He's dead. He's a dead man. Round 2. Knockout. Overhand right. Actually, no. Spinning back kick to the body, followed up by a head kick. So he's going to spin, boom, and then head fucking thank God we get to go back to this. Wow. Wow. Really? I mean, it makes sense. It happens, you know? She just gets those. You know what I'm saying? Although I actually think it's wrong this time. I'm actually going against it. Can I go? I can't. I'm not allowed. Nah, it's not real. I have it. She'll win. Tabitha Ricci. Moving on to Piotr Jan versus Davidson Figueiredo. This is going to be a fun fight. I think that if Davidson Figueiredo doesn't get him down and finish him pretty early on, Davidson Figueiredo is going to get solved very quickly. Piotr Jan's striking is so freaking good. The dude just he's so good at, like, just boxing and making reads on you and taking away all your weapons round by round. The dude's like the Floyd Mayweather of MMA, except he actually gets finishes and he actually uses defense. But in MMA, so it's not like, you know, he's untouchable. But yeah, this dude takes away your weapons and then comes and finishes you. I think that in round number 4, Piotr Jan is going to knock out Davidson Figueiredo. You mark my words, yeah. Anyways, that's the picks for this fight night. China. We are now up to a 61.7%. We're getting better and better. Every week it feels. Maybe this week we'll do a little better. I assume we won't, though. I think this Chinese card is going to get me. You know what I'm saying? And with that, don't forget to like and subscribe. I don't know.